Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War. Oops, I didn't want to make that full screen. Wait, go back. Welcome to the Gems of War, Campaign 27, Week 5. So today, biggest thing we have going on is second to last week of the PvP season. So I do kind of want to chip at that as we still have quite a bit of ways to go. I don't think we made bottom cut last week either, which is kind of unfortunate. Let me see, did we by the end of the week? No, we're still diamond. I might have to try for top 3 in diamond this week. That's kind of bad. But we might have to do 100,000. I'm also considering using the burning marks this week. Actually, I'll probably make that a pool right now. Also, we might be getting the patch tonight, by the way. They said tomorrow yesterday, which means today, even in Australia time. So I'm not sure if that means tomorrow or today tomorrow. Because they're working off Australia time, so I'm not sure. But they said one day ago that the patch is coming tomorrow, which is now. So I'm not sure if that's today tomorrow or tomorrow. It's confusing. But it could be tonight in like the next hour. I don't know, has anyone gotten the patch yet? But the thing I want to poll is, should we dump all the burning marks this week? Or gamble final week being better? This week, hope next week is better, because it's not bad. We get Immortal and Fernax. Immortal and Fernax is pretty nice. We also guarantee to get one thing that's really good for the, what's it called region, as they're both from Southwild, which is kind of unfortunate, but we are guaranteed to get something for Southwild, as, you know, either one or the other is generally something you're going to be running for Southwild whenever you get the category. So we're going to make Southwild PvP location stronger and get, you know, Immortal Fernax, the only one that actually matters up. No, this guy's not, like, that bad. He's a true damage AoE for Dragon, I guess. But, yeah, we either got to dump it this week or next week. Obviously, we don't know what next week is. So I was considering potentially doing it this week just because we have no clue what next week is, and it could definitely be worse. Like, that's not the best reward that we have this week, but it could definitely be way worse. Like, at least it has Immortal in Fernax, and we're guaranteed to get, like, a buff to one specific region that I don't think we really have anything for. Which, let me double check. What is that region? What do we have if we're not using one of these two? Which one is Southwild? Can I search that? Southwild. Collection. I want to check this real quick. What is, Southwild? Oh, it's one word. Southwild. Okay, yeah. Because they're just competing with this thing that we're never going to use. Which is basically just even worse version of Immortal Fernax, as he just says Entangle, instead of his really good trait. But yeah, it's basically just weaker Immortal and Fernax. So yeah, getting one of these two is fine. As either this guy or the AoE guy would be the main thing you would use currently for this area. As all three of them are Southwild. Which one is that, by the way? Southwild. Oh, interesting. It's purple, so I really don't ever need to use these then. I was gonna say, I feel like Southwild is one I don't really do that often, in the sense that, you know, we don't use the Immortal there. But no wonder why I don't use the Immortal there. It's one of the colored ones. So generally you already have an auto-win option for it, so you don't really have to use the Immortal. I guess if your Immortal was strong enough, you would. But generally, you know, running Flower Dragon is stronger than any of these three troops. Well, that would explain it. Interesting. Yeah, that does make it a little bit worse. Because Southwild, Adania, Garryhorn, and Central Spire are technically the worst locations. Which, oddly enough, is all three of these. However, of course, Immortal and Fernax is actually good outside of PvP-like situations. But all three of them that are currently in there are all for areas that you technically don't use Immortals in. Because Immortal and Fernax is Central, though you do use it outside of Central. It's just a good troop in general. And both the other two are for Central one that you will just use Flower Dragon for, so you don't really ever need an Immortal. This is going to say, why does it feel like I never use them? But it's because they're in the center circle. The only ones that really matter is Outer Circle. So Bay of Stars, Winter's Reach, Ancient Ket, Broken Lands, Summer Isle, and Mirage Expanse are the most notable ones. Just because you end up running the Immortal every time, generally, as your best damage source. Whereas in all these 4 central ones, you know, you just run Flower Dragon almost always. Or whatever else you have. That tends to be better. But anyways. Let me go read through all chat and go from there. Hello, Ron! Hello, Mulu! Hello, Jets! Hello, Clip Bomb. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Chris Purpose. Hello, yeah. Hello, everyone else. Okay, let's go do one thing at a time. Let's go do Yellow Doom. So let's go absolutely obliterate Yellow Doom. Oddly enough, I think I'm using the Atlanta team. Except with better mana accumulation. What's our really good mana accumulation again? I'm gonna do like an in-between. I'm gonna do a really weird team. Let's see. I didn't show this for the video just because it's a weird mix of both. But instead of using Ihi Cattle, we can use Atlanta into just a single explode and be good to go. Let's see. Oh, is there a correction here? No, we'll figure that out once we get there. Oh, wait, let's see. I didn't see before starting. How do I read this? Oh, there's someone new in the guild. Let's see. Which reminds me, if anyone's looking for a guild on PC Mobile, we still have some space left. We're at 30 out of 30 at the moment, but there's definitely some inactives we got to get rid of. As we actually didn't finish out the event last week. We should easily this week, though, because this one's pretty easy. But, yeah, we can put some Atlanta in here. We're going to run double Atlanta on this team, of all teams. And then to change our banner to, like, double purple. Actually, you know what? Give me, like, an Archmagus as well. And then we just go, like, double yellow or something. Archmagus. But yeah, we're just going to run this for the super, super, super early fights. Not what I wanted. Banner yellow purple. Minus, I guess it doesn't really matter what we minus, but there we go. Alright, that should be everything we need. So we're going to run this for the earlier fights. What should happen, ideally, is the 2 explodes gives us full mana. And if not, we just take the single mana and we're good to go. But ideally that happens and we just click win button. We won't be able to use this the entire time, but for the really, really, really early fights, we're basically using the early game team just with a Pharaoh Kafir on it. Oh yeah, that's something else I was able to do today, by the way. You just mentioned USA, just made me remember. For the trip that's coming up in about 2 months, I finally converted the last of the money. So I should be good now for the trip. Before the dollar crashes again, no. The main reason I did it, not even necessarily for the dollar crashing, it's mostly because of transaction fees. Because otherwise I would have had to done everything through PayPal and the bank's transaction fee. And over the course of 5 months, that's way more than like the $750 I did twice at the bank. Because not counting conversion fee, which you'll always have to pay regardless. I only spent $15 converting it over. $750 twice. Whereas, I think for my card, it's like 3% of all transactions. And if you were to do similar with PayPal, it's whatever PayPal's thing is. Which is also similar to 3%. And 3% doesn't sound like much, but you keep doing 3% over and over and over again, and it turns out to be like hundreds of dollars. 3% adds up really quick. If you're spending thousands over the course of months. Let's see. 4 and 5 is what we need. Oh, wait, never mind. We're already done with this one. Yeah, we need to move forward first. You just downloaded the patch? It is tonight. Huge, 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 huge. I might need to change the title soon. Hold up. Hold the holds. Oh, also, I might have to go and hand out the code tonight. I said I would do it on patch day. Today might be patch day. The only problem is I have that on Discord right now. I need to go dig it up. Let me go check right now. I might be able to get in. Because I mentioned that earlier that tomorrow might mean today. And apparently tomorrow means today because I just downloaded it right now. I think we're in. Oh, gotta go change the title. Where's YouTube? Where's the front end of YouTube? Or the back end, I guess. Whatever you'd call this. 1 second. I won't be able to see it when it shows up real quick because I need to go open this in full screen so I can get to wherever this is. Where is this? No, not in stream. Where's my edit? Why is back end of YouTube being so weird? I just want to edit the current stream. No, I don't want this pop-up here. Get off the thing. Where is this? Technical difficulties. Wait. Where is this thing? Stream settings. There it is. Found it. It's buried. They're burying it on me. Let's see. 9.1 patch tonight. Let's see. 9.1 Astral Spire patch is here. Also Yellow Doom. Yellow Doom and stuff. There we go. The title has been fixed. Anyways, what are we doing? The path system has been retired. Your rewards from the path rewards. Also, how's this looking on the front end? Oh yeah, it's working fine. I'm just making sure the dimensions, everything are still fine. Alright, anyways. Your reward. Oh no, I didn't read all that. Your rewards from the path rewards and path chests. All unclaimed rewards have been automatically sent in something something. I can't read it because it keeps going away from the screen. Oh, can I not go back to that? I thought clicking on it wouldn't move it, but apparently it did. Whoops. But yeah, that's just refunding the few keys we didn't use. I used up most of them beforehand in case it converted weirdly. But no, we already got refunded for that. Oh, Astral Spire material isn't available today. Oh no. I guess tomorrow's the first day we get it. Unless we get some from this. Also, we get to see how much it costs. Oh no. The Astral Spire has many constellations to unlock. Let's look at one. Oh, just click on there. Alright. Each constellation has stars to unlock. Each star gives a bonus. Unlocking stars requires star stones. Get them from the Daily Plunder menu. Each constellation has one capstone star that can be unlocked and leveled. Let's head back to the overview menu. Oh, that's over there. Now return to the library collection, library. Collect some star stones as a reward and unlock your first star. So these are the tutorial thingies. Where's the tutorial on Astral Spire? Astral Spire tutorial, where are you? There you are, 150, nice. I think you get 100 daily or something. Upgrade, oh, it's kind of weird how it's clipping off with this dimensions though. I gotta like do this for it to actually show up. Upgrade skill trees in the Astral Spire to unlock bonuses, and we get 150 of them. Oh, so what were all these other ones? Let's go check them. Let's see. I wonder what the library pass cost is. It's probably not worth whatever it is, but I believe it like doubles or triples all the rewards here. So yeah, leveling up some troops, you get some souls. Upgrading a weapon gives you some ingots, you know, things you kind of expect. Let's see. It's mostly just tutorials on everything in the game. Mostly to help newer players figure out, you know, what on earth to do. Even has hero armor to let you know what bonuses do. But yeah, it's basically a full tutorial system that now rewards you with a bunch of stuff. It mostly just teaches various things, like here, go do an arena run, stuff like that. One of them is probably treasure hunt. Even get your map refunded. Even shows the daily deals thing. Yeah, it shows pretty much everything. Even Underworld probably is one for Underspire. Anyways, let's go do the Astral Spire one. Get our material. These are the main material we'll be needing over the next forever. These are basically the new deed books in that it'll be bottlenecked forever and you just get a slow trickle of them. Except in the current state of the game, there's no way to infinitely farm them unlike deed books. Alright, there we go. And what is this? Library pass? Yeah, it's only $5. You triple the rewards from all the library tutorials, including anything you already claimed. And you also get 400 gems and 2 big green orbs. It's not bad value. Because that means you would get 300 extra of these. You get 100 curse runes. You get 3 imperial, or I guess 2 imperial extra. A couple hundred gems, because a couple of these have gems there. So technically you're getting almost like 1,000 gems from it. Honestly, I guess that's not too bad. Maybe we go for it just for the sake of it. If I do, I have to go and block the screen. But I do think this is honestly worth it. So we'll do it just so the pop-up goes away forever, so I don't ever have to deal with it here whenever we come back to this menu. If we ever come back to this menu. But yeah, I'll do it for $5 just to support it, since we're probably not doing anything else with the patch. Do I have that in Steam right now? Yeah, barely. I need to put more money in it later. But yeah, let me go hide my screen real quick. I'll bring it up after transaction. Which one is it? That one? There we go. Alright, let me go and do this real quick. Maybe I'll buy it for $5, why not? Let's see. This will give us some stars to work with immediately as well. But it's also like almost 1,000 gems. I'm curious to see how many gems this comes out to. Because it seems like you're getting 400, plus you probably get all the extra tutorial things. Oh, we just got the achievement for getting 200 stars. Oh, so why is it not popping back up? There we go. Yeah, that's not what that little ding was. Let's see. So what's everything you get from it? So you get 2 green deed books. You get 10 epic of the thing. You get those 2 major thingies. Also, thank you, Mulu, for the $10 tip. Greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. But yeah, this is everything that it gives if you do want to go for it. It's 2 green deeds, 10 epic ingots, 2 major green orbs, 6 ultra rare ingots, 80 chaos shards, 12 pet food, 200 glory, 4,000 gold, 1,000 souls, 100 curse runes, 2 gem keys, 100 gems. Wait, where are the rest of the gems then? Should be a little more than that. 2 glory keys, 8 gold keys, the library pass, 500 shards, 100 of the star stones, which is the main thing we're doing it for, 2 treasure maps, and then the thing from the purchase, and 500 writs. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Yeah, why didn't we get the full thingy then? Because I thought it times 3'd it. Maybe that's a glitch right now? Because I only got 100 stones where it should have given me 300. And some of these other ones seem kind of off too. So hopefully it'll fix that later. Because that should be way more than 100 gems. And there should also be way more than 100 shards. That's weird. But at least the button's not there anymore. But hopefully we'll get compensated for whatever the rest is. I assume they'll do that later. But now we have another 100. Let's see, how much does it cost if you want to buy them? This I'm probably not doing. However, how much is for this one? So you can get 500 at... So what is the ratio of these then? So yeah, it seems like it's every... What's that coming out to? It's 125 divided by 5. 125 divided by 5. They're coming out to... What is that? No, I did the math weird somewheres here. Oh yeah, it's coming out... No, I still did something wrong. You know what? Let me do it based on cents. It'd be easier. Let me do 125 times... or divided by 500. Let's see. Divided by 500. Or do you do that the other way around? No, you do that the other way around. You would take 500 and divide it by 125. They're coming out to 4 cents each. Is what these things are coming out to. But you can get like 100 of them per day. So not really much of a need to necessarily go and buy them. I mostly just did that so that button would be out of the way, so I wouldn't have to keep seeing it there for the rest of time. Otherwise, that library button's going to stay in the corner forever. So just so we don't have to see that, I just got it now. And hopefully we'll get compensated for the rest of it later. Because that seemed like it undergave rewards there. But they'll probably just mail out the rest of them later. Or maybe I already got them mailed. Hold up. Hold up. I forgot about that. No, they didn't get mailed. I thought they said the rest of the rewards that you already had collected would get mailed. They lied to us! We've been scammed. They'll fix that later, though. Otherwise, they'll send a support ticket later. So what's this button? Oh, this is showing the rewards from the other thing. So this is what we got from the few keys we didn't open from the other pass earlier. Oh, I actually had to collect rewards. There we go. Yeah, this is from the old system. Just a few things we didn't end up already using. But yeah, your rewards from the path rewards and path chests. All unclaimed path rewards have been automatically added to your account. Any rewards from purchase premium packs, tracks have been fully credited. All path keys have been exchanged for chest rewards. But there we go. But yeah, let's go see the Spire thing now that we have 250 stones. I don't think we can do the daily today, though. I guess it doesn't start till tomorrow or next week. But let's go see what we have to deal with. So we currently have a board completed, 0 out of 7. That's probably going to stay like that for a while because it requires so many of these things. Nodes unlocked, we have 0 out of 150. And capstone levels, 0 out of 350, which are the pretty expensive things once you get to them. So the hero one is the absolute worst. This is the one we're pretty much full ignoring. Let's go start with blue, because it seemed like blue was the best one, which is the one right after hero. So blue, let's see what layout we have here. So what do we need to be able to do the capstone? 20% chance for the enemy to miss extra turns from spells and 4 plus matches. And that should go up by another 1% every time we do that. For what? A total of 70%? They actually buffed that then. Let's go see what some of these are. So the one for hero is useless. The enemy hero just loses 10% to all stats, which goes up to 60%. Really bad. All the hero buffs only apply to heroes, so the worst one to end up going for. The extra mega buffs that it gets is +5 to all your stats except magic, only if you're in first position, and +3 to all. Hero is probably the worst one, and just ignore it completely. It is a complete waste. Blue is the absolute strongest. You end up getting up to 70% extra turn mitigation, which is really good. It's also the only one that we knew about before this actually ended up even coming out. Other things that you can end up unlocking include, what are the two big things? A 20% chance to cleanse at the start of your turn whenever using blue allies. And the other one was, well, this is extra magic. Oh yeah, this is extra surge. But yeah, that's the other main one, the extra cleanse. But the main thing is that you get up to 70% extra turn mitigation. So what, do you start over here? Is that how this is working? Yeah. So you start over here and then work your way over. It seems like they distributed each one. Do you have to do all of them beforehand, or can you just do a path straight there? Because if you're doing a path straight there, then you would simply just go armor into magic, into armor. Yeah, and these only apply when you're using a blue troop. But you'd go for the armor into magic, into armor, into armor, into magic, into unlock the capstone, into magic, into attack, into more attack, into get cleanse. I'm not sure if you have to do all these beforehand or not before you're allowed to do that. But assuming you're not, that would definitely be the path. Assuming you just need one node unlocked. I'm not 100% certain if that's how it works, though. I kind of want to start with it now just to kind of check. The only problem is we wouldn't know until we have those other shards to see if we actually have enough or not. Because that would basically be the path then. Get armor, magic, armor, magic. Get the capstone unlocked. Get your magic into attack, into your cleanse on blues. And this means you now have a 20% chance to cleanse every single time you go and use like Flower Dragon or something. Which is really nice. And then of course you have the basic level for the capstone. Let's go check the other capstones. So next we have green. Reduces the enemy gem creation from spells by 1, with a 5% chance to reduce it by 1 more. This is okay. It's nothing like crazy, but it definitely is helpful. But yeah, this one's set up a lot weirder. Are you allowed to just do 3 and go straight to capstone? Or do you have to unlock these other things beforehand? Because that, I do not know for sure how that works. Because if you did have to do that for blue, there's still only 1 there. I'm not sure how that works. Like, can I just go boom, 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 and then already have the capstone good to go? Where's the other one? Yeah, they still have the same ones that they had from the other thing. Interesting. So for red allies, this was the one that has extra turn on skull. 15% chance to gain extra turn when matching skulls. The capstone is a chance to negate summoned. As far as whenever an enemy summons. Not that useful, but could be good against summon spam teams. Next capstone, the one for yellow, is just a chance to spell when your turn begins. Not anything crazy strong, but definitely helpful. Definitely not a high priority one to go for, though. What are the extra benefits? One of these was not that bad, I don't believe. It's just summon troop buff? Yeah, it's just summon troop buff. That's not great. It's a really anti-summon one. Reduce enemy gem conversion by 3. So this one's actually really strong. I'm not sure why this one's so much stronger than the converter one. But, yeah, purple's pretty good. Because it basically makes enemy converters is completely useless. You also have a chance to curse all enemies at start a battle once you get to the battle hex, which is not that bad. But blue definitely still seeming like the overall strongest. And brown just gives devour immunity, or I mean insta-kill immunity. Which isn't that great. There's not too many things that you really have to face to have insta-kill immunity in the game. So hello, Ginky! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Let's see. What else do we have here? Gain 1 to all skill. Where's the 2 thingies? There's that. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, this one was really good. Add 1 gem to any gem creation from my spells. This is ridiculously good. For any brown troop in the entire game that creates gems. Because I believe this works for every instance. So if they're creating like 2 or 3 different gems, it works for every single one, not just brown gems. I believe they have to be a brown troop, like on your team. But I think it works even for non-brown troops on your team as long as you have brown allies. There's one thing I'm not fully certain exactly how these work. Like if you have 3 browns on your team, does it work for the non-brown ally? Or does it just work for the 3 brown allies? Because that's one thing that wasn't like 100% clear during the notes thing. But yeah, let's start spending some, I guess. I believe I have to do here. I don't think we can start anywhere else. So yeah, let's start doing blue. Because 100% I want to go get this time warp thing activated. This is pretty much the whole reason for the patch is this. They talked about this for years now. That they were going to add something like this, and it's finally here. We won't have it until probably about a week from now as far as the basic level for it. But 20% chance for the enemy to miss extra turns from spells is really good. And this goes up to 70%, I believe, once you fully maxed out. Which is absurdly good. It's basically a 70% chance to freeze the enemy. Even if they're not frozen. Which is absurdly good. This would also cancel all extra turns, including things like hourglasses and stuff like that, which previously had no counter. So that's kind of like ridiculously ultra crazy. So yeah, we're starting with blue. Blue is just definitively the strongest one. I don't even think it's close. So yeah, let's go start unlocking, I guess, where we have to unlock, because it seems like each one is forced to start at a given location. So let's go and unlock our 3 armor for all blue troops. And then we can go unlock our 1 magic as well. And we can even see this when we go over to the troop. For example, if we go look at our Flower Dragon right now. On, I don't know, what team do we have Flower Dragon on? If we look at our Flower Dragon on any Flower Dragon team, how about this one? We can see this is currently 240. But once I do this, it should move to 241. It's one of the other reasons why the hero buff is so bad. Because the hero buff only affects hero, whereas all these other ones affect literally every color troop in the game other than hero. So, let's go do the other one. So we go over here. No, not hero. That's the weakest one. Now let me do magic. So now we should have 241 on our Flower Dragon. So if I now go over to our Flower Dragon, instead of 240, actually it should be even higher because it gains more than that from each magic. So it should be like 243 or something, but it was 240 before, and now it should be a bigger number. And yep, 243 because it has one higher magic. So now every single blue ally we have gains 3 more armor and 1 more magic. I think we even see it on this screen. Let me go see. Yeah, here it is. The Astral Spire. So we can see right there, there's our 1 magic and there's our 3 armor. So there is a skills tab when you're going through and cycling through all these that tells you how much you're getting from your Astral Spire. And those numbers are going to be really high eventually. Right now, obviously, that's like almost nothing, 1 magic and 3 armor. However, those numbers on a 6-color troop are going to benefit from everything. So every single stat we see on that entire Astral Spire is eventually going to Flower Dragon, as well as anything that's 6-colored that isn't hero. The problem with hero stats is they only go to hero. And it does not gain the benefit from all these other things. Because, for example, blue allies does not go on our hero. If I go in hero real quick, your hero does not gain the benefit from these. So if I'm using something like Wand of Stars on a Wand of Stars team, you might notice there's no Astral Spire here. And the reason for that is the only one that currently applies to hero is the hero bonus, which makes it really bad. Because even if you're using a 6-colored weapon, you do not gain any benefit from the allies. So the biggest priority is to go do everything that isn't the hero tree, basically. With blue tree being the absolute best just because it gets cleanse for blues, which is ridiculously good, just a 20% cleanse. That's almost the equivalence of having 2 Orpheus medals set. It's basically the equivalence if you had this set, effectively, but without having to have that set, so you can still go for 8 magic. But it's basically like doing this while setting this, essentially. It's almost the equivalent of 2 Orpheus medals on every blue ally you have, which of course any multicolored ones would work for. But you get to have the banner setup of something like this, or even just pure magic. But yeah, it's really, really strong. It's almost the equivalence of 2 Orpheuses. I'm not sure if you can counter it with stun. That's something I don't know because it wasn't in the beta. But also, I think I just froze the screen. Oh no. I think it just crashed. Well, I can't move. I can't move the screen right now. I might need to restart. I can click on things, but it's not letting me move it. Alright, technical difficulties. We got some bugs. We found the first new bug. How many dozens did they add? But I found the first one. Apparently that screen can freeze the map menu. Anyways, hello Genki. Hello Slayer Ghost. Hello Samash. Hello Garudo. Hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you get the bonuses if you have at least 1 blue troop on the team, or does it need to be all blue? My understanding is they only apply to the corresponding colors, except for the capstones and the little corner ones. So all the stats, I'm pretty sure, only applies to the color of the troop. So for example, well, let me go double check. Let's see. The easiest way to check that would be to find a team that has a blue on it. So does my Pharaoh gain the stats? No. Okay. So my understanding of how Astral Spire works stat distribution wise is Astral Spire works for everything on your team. Or sorry, the capstone works for everything on your team. The 2 extra modifier things work for everything on your team. So the 20% cleanse and the 50% blue. I'm not sure if this multi-stacks with multiple on your team, but I believe you just need to have one on your team. However, the stats only work on the corresponding color. So right now I have 3 armor for blue and 1 magic for blue. This only works on the blue allies. It does not work on any other colored ally, and it does not work on hero. It only works specifically on the blue allies. However, they stack though. So you could have the blue tree and like a blue-green troop, and it would gain the benefit from all the stats on blue and all the stats on green. But if it's something like a blue-red, it would only gain the benefit from blue and red. And obviously 3-color ones benefit from 3, and 6-color ones benefit from all. But that's my current understanding, from what I could tell, is all these stats only work for the corresponding color, not counting hero. The 2 extra buff thingies work for everything on the team, as long as you have 1 of that color, I believe, is how it works. So if you have at least 1 blue, you'll have this 20% cleanse for everything, I think, question mark. Same as the blue surge. And the capstone definitely works on everything. But of course is a lot more expensive to go get up and everything. But, yeah, that's my current understanding. Though I kind of need more to kind of see for sure. But that seems to be how it's working. Unfortunately, can't get more without spending money right now, though. Should we go spend money? No. We'll get them from the dailies over time. It's not that big a deal. We're getting basically like $4 worth a day, so, or whatever it was. Or is it $2 worth a day? Well, whatever it is, we're getting a lot of it per day, so it's not really worth spending money on it. Only reason I really did the library pass thing is just so we don't have the button there constantly. So we didn't have to deal with that thing or always popping up. Also because I thought I was going to get more reward, but I got gypped. I didn't get my 3 times reward from everything. I need to go send a support ticket. Luckily, we have video proof and everything. But now we don't have to deal with the button in the corner, so we got rid of that button. Yay. For $5. I got rid of the ad button for $5. Well, we also got some stars. But yeah. So we kind of have to wait for tomorrow before we start getting stuff then. Because we can't start earning stars until either tomorrow or next week. I assume tomorrow. We'll find out when the dailies get reset. Because currently the dailies are not doable here. What should happen is this leftward most task should get converted into a star task. So this one will be like, you know, 3 battles. You earn like 50 or 100 stars, whatever it is per day. And you just keep getting those up. And then you spend those stars towards... Actually, did it tell you in the patch notes how much it is? Let me go double check. How many stars do you earn per day? That's not what I wanted to check. Where's the thing that tells you how many stars you earn per day? I want to go check that real quick. One of these tells you exactly how many you need. It doesn't say it here. I think it says over here. There's somewhere here that tells you exactly how many you get per day. The star stones are a resource that are available from daily plunder once per day. How much is it though? It doesn't say. How many is it? Is it 50 or 100 or some other number? I could have sworn there was something that told you how many star stones you get per day. Star stones. Where's the text that tells me how many you get per day? I'm not seeing it anywhere. Oh no. Yeah, where is it? It's telling you you get some per day. It's not telling you how many you're getting per day. It's either 50 or 100 though. I can't remember. But if it is 50, that means every other day we'd be able to go get an upgrade here. If it's 100, basically every day we'd be able to get an upgrade initially. Yeah, I forget what the number is. Jetto made a post below in the comments, if you recall. Oh, did she? Let me go check the forum post then. Where even is the forum? Forum, open a new tab. Why is it open all the way over there? Alright, let's see. 9.1 known issues. Oh yeah, are they going to talk about the purchase? The library rewards displays as already collected for the thing. Let's see. Library pass not tripling rewards. Yeah, okay, good. We're going to get compensated for that later. I already ran into that bug. We've already ran into 2 bugs so far. Technically 3. Because the screen at the beginning also got frozen. Players not getting the Luther tutorial for the thing. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, here's this. So where's the Astral Star? Star. I'm trying to find our comment that has stars in it. Apparently I need to go scroll further down. Do I have to go all the way here and then it'll load? Alright, how about if I type in star now? Star. Why is it still showing 0? Why is it showing 0? Where did she say how many stars you get? Because I want to figure that out real quick. Where's my stars? Somewhere's in here. I'm not seeing it. I went through every comment. I don't see anywhere that says how many stars you get, unless it's in the other post about it. I'm not seeing it. Is it here? No, that's not the thingy. Maybe if I go to the thing in game, is there a question mark one I could find? Here. I want to see where this brings me. You guys can't see this at the moment, but I want to see if I can find how many stars we get. Star. Somewhere's on this page to tell me how many stars we get per day. It's telling me that we're getting them per day. It's still not saying how many. Why do they not post literally anywhere how many stars you get per day? I'm literally on the website page that has all the info. And it still has nowheres that says how many stars you get per day. Alright, well, I don't know what it is, but we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Unless anyone has dug it up somewheres. Worst comes to worst, we'll find out tomorrow, most likely. Whatever it is. Obviously, we'll know then. But yeah, I can't find it anywheres. Even on the official website where that question mark brings you, does it even tell you how many you get per day? It tells you that you get some per day from the thing, but it doesn't say the exact number for some reason. Because I believe it's either 50 or 100. And at 50, we'd be able to do like every other day. And at 100, you know, we'd be able to breeze through this pretty quickly if it's actually 100. you'd be able to make progress really, really, really quick across it. Because, of course, you'd get like 700 a week, which is pretty much already enough to get to the middle, not counting purchasing the middle. But, you know, it'd be enough to get there. But no, we'll find out later. But yeah, unfortunately, there isn't too much to do initially. Hopefully, we'll get refunded the rest of stars between tomorrow. Maybe we could cover a video on it tomorrow. But the short gist of it is Rush Blue. Rush Blue is basically my quickest summary I could do. Is get here as immediately as possible. And do this for basically everything. Like start getting all the stats and everything for every single tree. But don't do hero. And the only capstone you need a level initially is blue. So, but you basically want to get the base stats for everything first, particularly the magic if you can go and, you know, just go straight towards it where applicable. But even just all the stats in general. But all the stats are really cheap to go and get. The capstones get really, really expensive to start the level. So a lot of the capstones you just want to leave at level 1 for a long time because their benefit at level 1 is really high. Like, for example, in green, your benefit for getting at level 1 is you just reduce everything's gems by 1. You would have to then level another 20 times just to get it to 2 gem reduction. So you don't get that much of a benefit from it. Same as some of the other ones. Like, chances to negate summons from the enemy. You know, you don't really need that to be that high. Honestly, you could even just skip this entirely, potentially. Though it does look like you might need it to get to claw. But I guess you could go around. I assume you could just go straight to each node and get there. Because if that's the case, then, yeah, you don't even need the capstone for red then. Because the only thing that matters on red is the 15% chance to gain an extra turn when taking a skull. Might save you an extra turn occasionally. But then there's some other ones where you basically just go for the magic and then just ignore it. Like this tree, you might literally just go for all magic. So you would go here for the magic. You would go boom, boom, get magic, boom, boom, get magic again. Boom, 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 get magic. And then boom, 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 boom to go get magic. And it's basically all you have to do here. Because all these other stats on the side you don't really need for a while. This extra yellow surge thing and this thing isn't really that good. And the capstone here is pretty bad. So this is like one of those you'd barely even touch. Purple, did purple get anything good? Purple got Curse's starter battle. It's not like crazy good, but it's another one of those where you basically just go straight for the magic. Boom, 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 get magic. Boom, 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 get magic. All the magic's on this side. And then from there, honestly, that's kind of all you need. And that and the central thing. I'm not sure how many other things you have to upgrade before you're allowed to get there, though. Unless you're just allowed to beeline there. Because if you are, then beelining a lot of capstones for your initial level is really, 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 really good. Because a lot of their benefits at base value is really strong. The most notable ones are purple, blue, and green. All have some of the biggest benefit for just initially unlocking them. Because for blue, you get the 20% extra turn mitigation, which eventually goes up to 70% that you definitely want to mass level at some point. Green does 1 less gem spawn on all enemies. And purple does 3 less gem convert on all enemies. All 3 of which are really, really, really strong at their base level. The other ones don't do as much, as they're just insta-kill immediately, which only works on actual insta-kill, not Devour or Deathmark. Dispel, which is, like, not awful, but not amazing. Summon troops being weaker, which, you know, you don't normally need that. And what was the other one that was just kind of meh? Or was that all of them? Yeah, that would be 3. Wait, which one was the other one then? I guess that was the other one. Yeah, because I skipped it. One was the curse. The other one was the dispel thingy. But yeah, purple, green, and blue are the main ones you want to rush, with blue being highest priority. Hero, you just full ignore everything on it. It only applies to hero. It's really, really, really bad. Blue is the overall strongest and the one that you want to eventually get the capstone upgraded on, but we're probably a month or 2 away before we really need to bother with that. And that seems to be pretty much everything with it. Interesting. But yeah, we'll cover a video on it probably as early as tomorrow, assuming that the daily is set by then. And hopefully they compensated from the library thing. Hopefully it'll have that done by tomorrow. With like a short little hot fix or something. But, yeah, those are basically Astral Spires. Not too much we can do with it at the moment. But assuming they have the daily going by tomorrow, we'll go cover it tomorrow, then just go ahead and go through the skill tree thing. And just do like a concise overview. But that's pretty much all we can really do with it for now. Let me go get the redeem code, though. I did say whenever I get this patch, I would finally hand out the code for this month. And it got delayed like 3 times over. However, today is the day. Let me go see if I can find it real quick. It's buried in all my messages. Somewhere here is Jetto. Where on earth is Jetto? There it is, Jetto. Thank you. There's the code for the month. Copy, copy, copy. Paste, paste, paste. There you guys go. It's going in right now. There it is. I have no clue what this code is for, but it's one of the old pets with some pet food. There you guys go. I have not the slightest clue which one that is. However, it is one of them. But there you guys go. But yeah, overall, Astral Spires, I'm definitely looking forward to see what we can end up doing with them in the future. But for now, it's basically just going to be unlock all the base stats and then start to get like the really, really good buffs. But we should be able to mess around with this buff as early as next week. Because assuming I can go straight there, I need the 200 for this, the 100 from this, the 100 from this, and the 400 from this. Assuming the daily gives 100 a day, we'll have this in a week. Like in 9 more days, I will have the time warp thingy. And yeah, by next week, we'll already start to mess around with one of the capstones, then the strongest one. And then we can kind of go from there, depending on what pathing we want to do. I feel like initially I want to get a lot of stats, though, just to make Flower Dragon really big. Because, of course, Flower Dragon is benefiting from any magic you get on any tree. Which is really, really, really strong. As we're gaining over 3 damage per magic. Just from the one magic we already got, we got 3 damage. But I think we want to accumulate all that magic just so we can have a bigger damage range for Flower Dragon, as well as every single other troop that uses multiple colors. I feel like it would help us the most out of even some of the capstones. As a lot of those capstones mostly just mitigate out the enemy. They don't actually give you more power necessarily. But the magic definitely does. And since the Flower Dragon gets to eat up all that magic, I think I want to prioritize all the Astral Spire magic. After I go and get the capstone for blue, I think that might be the goal. Is go unlock literally every magic for every single tree. And then worry about the capstones later. And then just get level 1 on the capstones that really matter, like green and purple. And then just go all in on maxing out the blue capstone, which does get pretty expensive near the end. But I think it's worth it for extra turn mitigation. It's really strong. Anyways, let's go do all the things we need to go do. Let's go back to Yellow Doom for now. And then we'll go and double back to all the dailies and PvP and everything we still need to go do. But let's go back to quick killing this. Let's see, number 3. So we need a power and a 5. So we need 4, 5 here. We're still using the land a quick kill until we do the other stuff. You found Jodo's post. You get 60 a day if you do it every day at minimum. 100 on top for the once a month weekly goal. You think this is being increased. So it's more like 1,900 a month. That's not as high as I thought it was, but it's not as low as I thought it was. Because the lowest number it could have been would have been like 50. So it's like 60 per day plus whatever extra you're getting from the monthly thing. It's not like amazing, but that's definitely some. How much is that money worth? Because we said it was 4 cents. So that means you're getting $2.40 worth of the material for free per day. If you were to compare it to buying it with money. So you're getting $2.40 worth of the material for free every single day as long as you do the daily. So if you want to spend money on it, that's basically the time difference. So every $2.40 you spend towards that material saves you 1 day. So in theory, buying the $5 pack, for example, saves you 2 days worth of stones, basically. If you were to break it down, if you wanted to spend money every single day on it. But every $5 you spend saves 2 days. Is what it effectively comes out to. Is that worth it? Probably not, unless you have a lot of money. But every $5 saves you 2 days when it comes to Astral Spires. With how they balance the purchases that you can do for it. But it's not counting the gems that you get from it as well. That's just counting the star material. But otherwise, if you want to do it 100% free to play, it's 60 per day then. For the 1 time per month where I believe if you log in like X amount of days, you end up getting some. Which I don't think we'll get this month, but we'll probably get it for all future months. What I mean by that is, who knows, maybe we can actually see it here. What I mean by that is this calendar mechanic. Something I normally don't pay that much attention to. But if you go over to calendar, over here, yeah, it hasn't been changed for this month, but probably will for next month. I believe one of these rewards is 100 souls later for the new system. It'll probably be placed over the 25th one or something. But one of these near the end, probably around like this final row for logging in, you know, like 20-something times in a given month. One of these should be replaced with 100 stars after this one gets finished by this month. So next month and every month after, you should be able to earn 100 of them as well, just from logging in X number of days. Otherwise, the rest comes from doing your leftward daily for 60 per day. Otherwise, the rest is from buying them if you want to buy them. But the ones that you can get for free is the 100 from the calendar, starting every month after March. And then the daily for 60 per day are the two main ways you get them for free. Unless they add more in the future. Obviously, with most currencies, they tend to add more ways to get them down the line. But at least at launch, the daily on the left and the one off the calendar once per month, not counting this month, is for 100. Are the two main ways. 100 from that and 60 per day from Adventure Board. Except for today because of the patch. But starting tomorrow, it should take place unless they're waiting until next Monday. But hopefully starting tomorrow, we should start seeing the extra star currency there. Anyways, let's go back to the guild thing. Back to the Doom. What floor are we on right now? 4, so we just need 5. Good to go. Yeah, we'll do a summary video on it either tomorrow or on Wednesday then. Assuming the daily is there by tomorrow, we'll probably go over and mess with it tomorrow then. So which color should we start to upgrade? Blue. It's still the same based on the info that we had earlier. Blue is by far the most useful one to go for. My personal route is probably going to be get the blue capstone immediately. Then unlock all magic from every tree. Then get the capstone from the other two useful ones, being green and purple. And then probably just mass spam the blue capstone. Is probably the order I'm doing. But there's a couple other routes you could do too. Depending on what you want to prioritize. But the blue is definitely the absolute strongest. Was that the only one we needed here? Yes. Alright, we're good to go. Which we kind of knew before it came out, but now we really know now it's out and can actually see it and everything. But blue is definitely the strongest by far. It's not even close. You also get 20% cleanse for all blue allies. Or maybe even all allies, depending on how it works. As long as you have a blue troop on your team. I'm not sure which way it works. If it only works on blue allies, or if it works on all allies as long as you have a blue on the team. Which, generally speaking, should be like pretty much every team you ever have. It does work that way. I'm also not sure if it works against stun or not. If it can be stunned off, or if it also works on stun. But it's going to be a while before we unlock that. Because we could actually do the math to figure it out. Not counting the library being fixed. If we do 60 per day, we could actually figure out exactly how long it will take, assuming we can make a straight line towards it. So we would want to go over there. Which means I would have to go here, 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 and here. Assuming I'm allowed to just go straight for it. Which I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. That's how skill trees normally work. Is you have to do both of these in order to get to it or something weird. But assuming we could do that, that means I would need how many more stars? So how many stars would that be total? Let's assume someone just did the tutorial, so they would only have this. So that'd be 100, 300, 400, 500, 900, 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, and 1,600 to get the cleanse. 1,600 divided by 60. It would take about a month. It would take 27 days to do it for free. Would get you the capstone for blue and the cleanse for blue, which are like the two most important things out of anything in any of these categories. But yeah, it would take 27 days is how long it would take. So basically a whole month. But along the way, you would end up getting 3 magic, the capstone for blue denial, or extra turn denial, which is insanely strong, and the 20% cleanse, however this ends up working. Which I kind of want to rush for it to see how it works, because assuming it works the way I think it does, where if you have like one blue troop on your team, you just get 20% cleanse across your whole team. That is really strong, especially if this works against stun. Because one issue with Orpheus medals is they can be stunned off. But I'm not sure if the Astral Spire can be stunned off or not. Because if it can't, 20% cleanse per turn that isn't stun offable is absurdly strong. Like ridiculously through the roof strong. Just for having one blue ally on your team. Which generally every team is going to have. And pretty much has to have going forward. If that's the benefit for having one blue on your team. But yeah, that is absurdly strong if that works the way I think it does. I want to rush it just to double check. Because if it works the way I think it does, it is absurdly broken. And even if it doesn't, it's still really good. Even the worst case scenario of only blue troops having 20% cleanse and it could be stunned off is still very strong. But if it's just put one blue troop on your team and everything has 20% cleanse and it can't be stunned off, that would be best case scenario and would be broken beyond belief. how strong that is. Like, basically every team for the rest of the time will require a blue troop. Almost reminds me when Valkyrie was the meta, because she was the only way to gain souls. So every team had to be based around, like, you know, a blue team. But now you basically, assuming that works, like, best case scenario, you basically have to have a blue troop on every team for the rest of the time. Just how strong a 20% cleanse would be that would overpass stun. Because the main thing is, does it bypass stun or not, is the main question. These Orpheus medals don't, so it's not automatically implied that it would. But if it does, that is really, 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 really strong. And that's what the first thing I'm going to be rushing. Because not only does that give you extra turn denial from getting the capstone, but it also gives you cleanse against elementalists and any other annoying effect in the game. Both of which are absurdly good. Alright, 7. What was the other one we needed? 5. Good to go. The stones are currently in daily. Reason you may not be seeing them is if you have logged in before the patch. Your alt account has the stones in daily. But you logged in earlier on your main and they're re-logged in. New update and daily did not show up. Oh no! That means we're going to miss out on it today, potentially. Wonder if they'll compensate for that as well. And I could try restarting again, but it might be based on when you initially logged in. Because I logged in before the patch. Alright, let me go double check. I'm gonna restart real quick. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna fix it, unfortunately. But yeah, it seems to be based on when you logged in. Yeah, I didn't get it. No! No! But yeah, if you logged in before the update, it doesn't give you the thing. That should be fixed by tomorrow, though. I wonder if they are gonna compensate everyone who didn't get them today, though. Because that's 60, those 60 stones are precious right now. We need every single one of those we can get. Alright, let's go switch back to a real, Flower Dragon team. I was just using the other thing initially just because, it was just slightly quicker. But we're starting to get deep enough where that doesn't win anymore. So let me go and, start going with a real team now. Also, I should probably move the weapon. The only reason I have the weapon here is assuming later battles. But for the earlier battles, obviously, we switch into Flower Dragon up front. And then we switch it back once Flower Dragon is threatened by death. But currently, it is not even remotely threatened by death, so we just not worry about it. Oh yeah, speaking of Astral Spires, though. We finally get to use Astral Spires for the first time right here. Because this is a game mode where they work. So we are getting our extra armor and, more importantly, our 1 magic. It's not a lot, but hey, 1 magic, I'll take it. That'll be bigger number soon. Give it a couple months. That number will be very big. But for now, 1 magic. Alright, 5 and 3. But hey, it's over 3 damage, so I'll take it. Actually, it's exactly 3 damage right now. Alright, number 8 is 3. Yeah, game plan at this point is I guess we'll go clear through all the battles we have for Tower of Doom. I believe the guild's pretty much full scouted at this point. So we should be able to get all of our battles in. Beyond that, we'll then go clear all dailies and then probably push PvP a little. Because I might actually try going for top 3 PvP in Diamond rank for once. As I do need to finish out like 80,000 more points in PvP. Also, the poll is currently very dead even on if we should do it this week or next week. So I'm not sure if we're doing that tonight or saving it for next week and just gambling it. But it seems to be very 50-50 right now. I did the poll for like clarification, but now it's like, nope, still 50-50. Because it's definitely not the best week to be throwing down the shards, but also next week could be even worse. The problem is we don't know what next week will be. Like, if we knew what next week was, obviously we could make that determination very easily. Because Immortal Fernax is pretty good. And next week could just be like 3 complete duds that are just complete trash that we don't care about at all. Is like the biggest concern. Because I'd still want to do it because I need to get the Goblin up. But it'd be bad because, you know, we'd be getting a ton of stuff we don't really need. But we might be doing that later tonight, we'll see. Because while we're doing some of the PvP, we might just go open all of our shards tonight. If we do decide we're doing it this week instead of next week. And we have almost 1,000 to go open. I'm not sure how high that will get our Goblin, but I believe it gets us to like level 20 something. What's the Immortal this week? It's Immortal and Fernex, and 2 of them for one of the Inner Circle ones. So the 2 Inner Circle ones are pretty bad. But it does have Immortal Fernex, which is one of the best like 5 you could possibly do, maybe even top 3. Immortal and Fernex is pretty much pre-nerf Great Maul, but without the glitch that it used to have. Because one set is fully maxed out, it gets 15% Devour instead of 10%, which was the original pre-nerf Great Maul number, before they nerfed it multiple times over. I also moved it off of Great Maul and moved it onto Krog the Dread. It's also why Krog the Dread only has a 5% Devour rate. That trait used to be 15%. But now they've given it back, but they give it to Immortal Fernex. Which is really good on him because he is immune to everything. And I think like 50% score reduction. He's actually a really, really good troop. It's just very situational that you bring it out. But he actually is very, very strong. His biggest downside is his ability is pretty underwhelming. But his trait setup is one of the strongest in the entire game. Particularly for a Skull Spam team. He just blocks mana like crazy though. But Skulls are a little bit more viable now. Because as long as you get that one tree unlocked, you should have a 15% chance every time you take a 3 Skull to get an extra turn. To kind of offset Skulls a little bit. I'm not sure if that stacks if you have multiple red on the team. That's one other thing I'm still not fully clear on as far as how the patch works. Like if you have 4 red on your team, are you getting 4 15% chances? And if you are, is it 4 15% chances or one big 60%? Or is it just going to be simply a 15% simply for having a red? And if you have 4 red, it's still only 15% or something. Because that's one other thing that I'm still not fully sure how it works with the patch. Like how the interaction with multiple on the team works. Should you have obtained 2 of those mythics last week? Which one? Which mythic last week? Oh, the one for the Guild War thing? No, one is fine. If you mean the new anti-red troop, he's pretty good, but you don't really need more than 1. I guess there are rare circumstances where you would put 2 on a team. I personally only went for 1, though. Mostly because there's enough other Tauruses that you're probably not ever going to need to double it up. So I didn't bother doubling it up. I guess it wouldn't hurt, especially if you're lacking other options. But no, the new mythic that came out the other week, you only really need 1 of. There's enough other Tauruses that you shouldn't really need to double it. And if you had to offset them, you just offset them with Ferocity. Unless it's like a Wild Plains restriction. But if it's a Taurus restriction, you can do it with Ferocity. And if it's not, you can offset it with that one guy that creates those lightning gems every turn. Or catches the bull, or hero, or more mana accumulation. You should only really need 1 of them on a team, for the most part. Ideally, one thing that Taurus really needs... Taurus really needs an extra turn troop that gives you attack, HP, and armor. That kingdom needs that so bad. Something that can, like, mana loop into itself. That can feed the Taurus allies the attack, armor, and... HP ratio that they need. There's troops that do it, but none of them do it for extra turn, which is really bad. It's something the kingdom's been needing for forever now and still hasn't gotten yet. Alright, 12. We have a 2 and a 5. Like, basically something like, Sycorax, but for Taurus. Where, like, Sycorax gives you infinite HP for extra turning. Like, they basically need that, but in the Wild Plains Kingdom. So you could feed Taurus the stats they need. So no problem, Tyrion, and thank you for the continued support. Greatly appreciated. Alright, what battle are we on right now? 12. We just need 5 here, and we're good to go. What's the Immortal here in the... Oh, wait, I already answered that one. You accidentally used your marks last week. But on the bright side, it was a lot of good Immortals. Yeah, I forget what it was last week. It wasn't too bad last week. I'm not sure if we're doing it tonight or not, though. The poll is still pretty much at dead even 50%. Such a crazy how even it is. But I might be just opening them all tonight. Like, it's definitely not the best pulls we could be getting, but Immortal Phoenix is a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind moving it Phoenix closer to max. But it does mean we're not doing something like Ossifer or something. But also the ones we get next week could be way worse than what we have now, so... I might just take the hit and just go for only one good one. Because right now only one good out of the 3. Well, technically 2, but the other one is always going to be there this week. The Goblin guy. But of the 3, only one of them is particularly good. The only big upside of doing it this week is I do get the Dragon fully traded. One reason I haven't been using him is we have him at like level 2. But if we do it this week, I would get him way above level 2. Like, he'd be at least like level 10 or something. If I go check the chest right now. Because this guy I only have at level 2 right now. He doesn't even have his invulnerable trait. Or his little bit of extra dragon gem trait. Which is not that great, but it's better than nothing. But it would make him a lot more valuable having that, of course. And we'd easily get it from throwing these shards at him. This guy's like completely useless though, unfortunately. As he's basically going to be a weaker version of this guy in most situations. But I don't know, maybe not. I guess you can still use him. I guess it depends on the battle that you're doing. But the Immortal and Fernex's the only one we really care about. 50% score reduction, immune to everything, and 10% Devour. That eventually becomes 15% Devour. It's a really fun troop. It's basically just old Great Maul, but even stronger and weaker at the same time. It's more unkillable than the previous Great Maul, but doesn't have Devour on ability. Nor does it have the glitch Devour final trait. But it's still pretty solid. And it's the closest thing we have to like pre-nerf Great Maul. Back when every team was Great Maul plus Bone Dragon. Because at the time, Bone Dragon had no cap on how many skulls it created. So it would literally just create like infinite skulls. Which was very fun, but very unbalanced. So they had to nerf him into a ground at some point. Yeah, I guess from a completionist standpoint, at least we'll get all their pets and everything. But I figured that would just happen over time anyways. Yeah, Immortal and Fernex, there isn't really too many practical uses for Immortal and Fernex at the moment. The main use case for Immortal and Fernex is, let's hypothetically say Skull meta makes a comeback. Immortal and Fernex, particularly fully max Immortal and Fernex, is really good for a Skull meta. As it counters out a lot of things you would otherwise do to counter a Skull spam team with it. Because it can't be entangled, it can't be frozen, you can't be stunned, it can't be cursed. It gains a ton of durability and attack every time it casts. As Devour rate at 10% or 15% if you ever get it fully maxed. Like, it's a really good first slot troop for a Skull spam team. The biggest downside is it doesn't get to do, like, triple damage to the enemy, like some other ones do. But it has the upside of being immune to basically every counter imaginable. So it's a lot more universally usable. Whereas something like Web Spinner is very strong, but you come up to an enemy that's immune to it, and it just became very weak. Whereas Immortal and Fernex is pretty much just universally good on any Skull spam team, regardless of how you're using it. Even more so if they don't have immune to Devour. But even if you have a 0% Devour rate, he's still not that bad. Ideally, you would be using him in a context where he would have Devour chance, though. Also, the new immune to insta-kill that's on the tree does not work on Devour. It only works on insta-kills like Maelstrom Dagonoth and stuff like that. Though regardless, when it comes to Astral Spires, I forget if I mentioned it during this stream, though we mentioned it a lot in the past. The Astral Spire buff only applies to yourself. It does not apply to any enemies. So you gain all the benefits, but the enemy gains no benefits from it. Even if they have maxed out every Astral Spire, you'll see them with 0 Astral Spire benefits. It is purely just for your own benefit. They also don't work in things like Guild War, just to make it fair for everyone. So that people that spend like max money per day don't have like a huge advantage over people who don't. But just purely self-benefit. So you don't really have to be in a rush to go get it upgraded. As you don't have to compete with everyone else who is getting it upgraded. The only reason why that might be a slight issue in the future, though not really an issue necessarily, but a lot of new game modes are probably going to be balanced around how much power Astral Spires are bringing. So a new game mode that we get in like 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, are probably going to be putting into consideration how much power we're getting from Astral Spires, and will be balanced accordingly to it. It's like the only instance where having a lower Astral Spire might be bad. In the sense that all future content is probably going to be balanced around the Astral Spires existing. Whereas all current content are not balanced around Astral Spires existing. So all current content's going to be really easy once you start getting a lot of upgrades. Like Explore 12, that's already really free, stuff like that. Even things like Journey events become a lot freer, similar things. However, a lot of future game modes are likely to be balanced around, like, you basically having half, if not all, the Astral Spires upgraded. But no current content got upgraded to that. And you don't need to worry about it for Guild War, since it doesn't apply to Guild War. Or Arena. But it does apply to other things. Like what we're doing right now, we're getting Astral Spire benefit from. So every Astral Spire we have upgraded would make this event go quicker. So all the magic stats we got would just make this go even quicker. Because right now we have 1 magic and 3 armor. Obviously we have almost nothing right now because this came out today. However, in the future we're going to have a lot more than that, of course. It's just something I didn't do the math on. How much magic do we get total? I don't think I've done the math on that yet. Because I'm pretty sure it's really big number. It's every magic except for hero. 1, 2, 4. Oh, sorry, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. Why does every single one have a different distribution? Interesting. So we're at 8. Wow, yellow has like no magic. It's all durability. So now we're at 8 magic. Unless I'm missing it somewheres. But yeah, that's 8 magic. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, yellow has a lot of magic. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 27, 28. Brown has like none. Yeah, if I counted correctly, there's 28 magic, which is 76 damage, 74. That is 74 more damage for that's right? Calculator, quick. My math's not braining. Sorry, 84. That's 84 damage for Flower Dragon if you got every magic, if I counted correctly. That's a lot of extra damage. That brings us from 240 to 300 and... I'm putting in calculator. Just in case. So yeah, that brings us from 240 damage up to 324. Interesting. Also, just so I remember later. 240 to 324. Flower... 60 per day, 100 per month. I don't know what that means. When I go check this later, I need to remember those numbers for the video. But yeah, Flower Dragon goes from 240 right now to 324 damage if you got all magic, assuming I counted it correctly. You get 60 of the stones per day and 100 per month through the daily thing, or the monthly thing. Though we don't get it this month because this current calendar doesn't have it. But April calendar and onwards, you'll get like 100 of them per month from somewheres on there. From the monthly thingy. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's an 84 increase in Flower Dragon damage, if I counted all the magic up correctly. Because Hero Magic doesn't apply to it. That's a lot of benefit. Alright, let's go finish out the Tower of Doom thingy. Actually, I might even be able to finish it tonight. I think I have enough battles to go all the way. We are scouted all the way too, so I might be able to. Alright, where are we? We're at 16. We just need 4. Already did it. Good to go. Hello, Mr. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hello, Mr. Z. Welcome, welcome. You bet people will complain that the devs capped the magic bonus at some point? Well, technically they've capped all stats as of like a year into the game. They nerfed be able to go to infinite stats down to only 1,000 all stats. It's been like that for over a decade now. We do have a video where we went absolutely crazy with it though. The resolution on it was a little bad. But we recorded a video a long while back before they nerfed infinite stats. But there was a point where there was no cap on how many stats you can have, and you could have your number go across the entire screen. They did within the first year after that, though, nerf it down to 1,000 all stats. And it hasn't changed for over a decade now. Wonder if they ever would change that. Though, if anything, I feel like they would make it higher, not lower. If they were to ever modify that in any way. It doesn't seem like something they would reduce downwards. But you never know. But I didn't do the math on that much extra magic. That's a lot. 84 extra damage for Flower Dragon's kind of insane. As well as 28 magic for anything in the game that uses every color. Other than Hero. So there's mostly Flower Dragon and Stellaryx, I guess. But that is one thing that this patch did quite do. It buffed Mythics and 6 colored troops like crazy high. As they gain a benefit from every Astral Spire. And they were already some of the strongest troops in the game. But it's basically a nerf to some commons and legends out there. Or, you know, things that only use like 1 or 2 colors. But a mega buff to things that use 3 and 4. As they gain a ton of extra stats from using those extra trees. And of course, anything that uses all 6 is just crazy how much stats you end up getting. Because I only calculated how much magic we're getting. That's not counting every other stat we're getting. Obviously, the magic's the most relevant one and the one that we're going to be aiming for when we go through the trees. But there are other stats that aren't magic that you're getting along the way. And they definitely start adding up, even though we're prioritizing the magic stats and the, you know, the ones that give the most benefit, like the capstones and everything. Alright, 19. What do we have here? We need a 3, a 5, and a 4. I'm skipping the 5, though, so we need a 3 and a 4. Yeah, currently you can already one-shot Explore, but it requires using Fairy Fire. I don't believe there's any build at the moment that could do it without Fairy Fire. However, once you start unlocking all the magic, I think you can? Like, how much damage are we short? Let me go double check real quick. How much damage short are we on one-shotting with no Fairy Fire? How short are we for a one-shot right now? Because we can give +5 to all stats for 15 damage too without needing Fairy Fire. Let's see, what does the damage come out to? Yeah, you'd be able to one-shot. Wow. You'll be able to one-shot with Astral Spires. Because we're going to be getting 84 more damage if I counted it correctly. And all of this would die to 84 damage more. So you don't even need Fairy Fire anymore. If you get all your magic, you're already good to go. So you could just do mass mana accumulation straight into this team and one-shot Explore 12 down the line. That is crazy good. We'll be able to do that in a, like, couple months. Like, by the time I get back from my trip this summer, I think we have enough magic to one-shot Flower Dragon with a max mana accumulation build. Where we just use this exact team, cast once, and an auto-win. With double explode at start of battle and 50% mana start. And you would just instantly win. There's already teams that could do that now with Fairy Fire and a few other gimmicks. But we'll be able to do it with maximum mana accumulation down the line. But it's going to take us a good, like, few months before we get there, if not longer. But, yeah, by late this summer or early fall, we should just be able to one-shot Explore 12. That is crazy how high that damage is. But with no Fairy Fire, no extra stats, no nothing to offset damage. Just simply going all in mana accumulation and then casting Flower Dragon. We'll eventually one-shot Explore 12 once we have all the magic. Technically, we don't even need all the magic. We just need most of the magic. But yeah, we'll have that by, like, August, I think. By around August, free-to-play, we'd be able to have that. You could probably have that by, like, next month if you paid max money every day. But assuming you're doing free-to-play, you can have that done by, like, August. Like enough magic so that Flower Dragon one-shots Explore 12. Without needing any extra damage offset on the team. Because any team that currently does it needs to compromise at least one troop on the team in order to do it. You have to go with one less mana accumulator to be able to one-shot right now. But with all the Astral Spire upgrades, you won't need to compromise any mana accumulation. So almost every single turn 1, you'd be able to get full mana instantly without needing to worry about any RNG. There's still some RNG, because even with the max mana accumulation build, you still sometimes don't get full mana. But it almost always gets full mana, though. What's our order of preference for Astral Spires? I'll be covering in a video tomorrow. But the quick summary is Rush Blue all the way to Cleanse. Then Rush All Magic. Then any capstones you didn't do that are good, go get those. And then probably just spam out the blue capstone. As the blue capstone's by far the strongest one. Pretty much everything in blue is the strongest one. But it's basically go rush blue until you get cleanse. Then unlock all magic. Then unlock all good capstones. Or even just all of them if you want. And then go unlock blue all the way to max. Unless there was like a few other buffs you wanted. Like the extra turn on skull or something. But I'll be going over it tomorrow in a more concise little video thingy. That's a quick rundown. I'm going to skip these 2 powers. I feel like we have enough power by now. So we're going to go straight to 4. So 21, 4. Is how much power are we at? Where's the power menu? Generally starts to fall off once you have about 10 to all stats. So yeah, we're pretty much there. We're going to start skipping the power now. Let's see. So 21. So I just need 4 here. Oh, we already took it. Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, wait, I already took one of the powers. Whoops. Oh, no. I'm still in floor 20. What am I doing? So we take 3 and 5. Oh, wait, why am I clicking on 4 then? Gosh, ultra mega short-term memory. There we go. But yeah, blue is still the most insane capstone by far. I'm rushing all the way to the cleanse to see what the cleanse interaction is going to be. Unfortunately, we won't have it unlocked until midway through next week. But I'm going to be rushing to blue cleanse to see if it bypasses stun. Because that's the main thing I want to test. The beta people probably already know. But I want to rush it to see if it bypasses stun. Because if it does, it is really, 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 really absurdly strong. 20% chance to cleanse per turn on top of natural cleanse chance. On top of potentially bypassing stun. Because the bypassing stun part's the main thing I want to know. It's still strong even if it doesn't, but it is absurdly over the top strong if it does. As it basically stalls cleanse for every team ever. Especially if you only have to set 1 blue on your team and everything gets the benefit. But even if it only works on blue troops, it's still pretty good. Because that would work on the more important things like Takshaka, Flower Dragon, stuff like that. That would definitely start to make Takshaka better than Pharaoh for PvP-like situations, which already is right now. But even more so if it only works on blue allies. Because Takshaka is blue, but Pharaoh is not blue. 3, 4, and 2. And I'm pretty sure we just Heroism and Fireball to the end then. But yeah, 3, 4, 2 is all we need here. 3, 4, 2. And it should be the last floor we need to deal with. And then any that we need to do later, we'll just do off stream for any other contribution. But we should be able to go and finish out all the Tower of Doom battles tonight. Give it a few months and they'll cap it. Wait, why was that life? Wait. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong room. No! I looked at the wrong one. Whoops. Oh, we're on floor 22, not 21. Oh, so that's funny. Literally the only room that was not worth taking is the one I accidentally just took. Every other room was either a power or an unlock. And I took the only one that was neither. Whoops. So hello, Caffeined. Once you explore 12, you assume you need all Kingdom Magic bonuses as well? Technically, no. With the new Astral Spire buffs and going all in on mana accumulation with no other troops that give you damage, you would still have enough damage without needing every magic buff. Because whatever magic buffs you don't have on Kingdom, you can offset with Astral Spires. Because based on our current amount of damage, we're overshooting by like 20-something damage. So that's about like 6 Kingdom magic you don't need. That's like 6 to 8 Kingdom magic that you don't need to be able to one-shot if you had every Astral Spire upgrade. Which wouldn't take that long, at least relative to maxing all Kingdoms. Like, maxing all Kingdoms still takes forever and a half, even in the current system of the game. Getting all magic from the current state of Astral Spires does not take that long. It takes about a couple months to do free-to-play. It's not that long at all. Like, you'll have it done by, like, September, probably. Like, around there. September or October. Somewhere around there. Like, that's still a while away. But compared to upgrading all Magic Kingdoms, that's, like, 0 time at all. Relative to maxing all, you know, Kingdoms. Like, it's relatively short. Like, how much magic you get so quickly from Astral Spires. Of course, it only applies to the corresponding colors, but, you know, Flower Dragon is every color, so it's relevant for that. But you get stats way quicker than you do from Kingdom upgrades. Like, way, way, way quicker. And, of course, they'll be adding more buffs in the future as well. I believe they said they're going to be focusing them on Kingdoms, though. So, for example, given that they like to start with it, the first consolation for that might be something like Broken Spire, for example. Or we'll end up getting a bunch of bonuses for whenever you use a Broken Spire troop on the team. Given the current balance of the game, though, we're going to want to keep an eye out for Nexus. Or if they do Elemental and Dragon, if they ever do typings like that. We don't know what current rate they're going to be adding Astral Spires to the game, though. They said they're going to be adding more in the future, we just don't know what rate they're going to be doing that in. That is something that is still to be determined, or we'll figure out as it happens. If I had to guess, they're probably going to add 2 Astral Spires a year. But we don't know. It could be, you know, 4 a year. It could be 1 a year. It could be 0 a year, and they forget about it. Hello, Mr. Extreme! Welcome, welcome. But if I had to guess, they're probably going to do 2 more constellations per year. Which, if they did, you'd still be able to fully complete it out. As you get enough free stones per year to be able to do more than 2. Like, fully 100% completed. Like, way more than 2. I forget exactly how many you'd be able to do, but it's close to, like, 3 or 4 full constellations. So if they only do 2 per year, you'd still be able to keep up with free-to-play stones. It would take a while, but, you know, you'd still be able to fully 100% it by some point if they do 2 a year. If they do 4 more per year, you would never be able to. However, assuming they do around 2 per year, which seems pretty realistic, free-to-play would be able to eventually max every single Astral Spire buff. Though, of course, some will be higher priority than others. Like, Hero Bonus is really, really, really bad, and you should just completely ignore it. It's like the main takeaway for when we go do the video tomorrow, or from this stream, is completely ignore the Hero Bonus. It is by far the worst one, and you should never, ever, ever put anything towards it. Even if you're using Hero in every battle, you still shouldn't do it. It's just really bad, the benefit that you get from it. It's by far the worst one. It only applies to Hero, whereas everything else applies to everything but Hero. How are we doing this? So we go there. Alright, so we just did the battle then. So we should only have to do 2 more battles. This one and then the next one for next floor. And that should be 100% completion. And then the rest of the week I'll just do more battles if the guild needs it for contribution. As far as base Tower of Doom, this should be all rewards as of today. That's one nice thing about Tower of Doom. If you're guild scouts, you can actually finish it in 1 day. It's the only game mode that is like that. As far as like the weekly guild related events. Alright, 24, I think we just fireball the room. Yeah, so I just fireball the 3. So 3 gets fireballed. Boom. And this should be the final battle we have to do. Then we do our battle here, and then we just heroism the final floor, fireball if there's anything relevant there. I'm pretty sure this is a immediate heroism though. And I can fireball the fireball in the next floor just for the fun of it. Let's see. Oh, you need to not die to death mark. I actually have no counterplay to that. Please don't die to that death mark. That'd be really bad. Also, I should probably move Flower Dragon out of first slot. We're getting deep enough that it's starting to get quite a bit of a liability. Alright, so we're at floor 25, and I think we just heroism here, yep. This is literally just heroism, and that is Tower of Doom completed. The final one that gives the Light Forge scroll. Though while we're here, let me go fireball the fireball real quick, I guess. So fireball in 5, then 3. 5. 3. And there we go. Tower of Doom completed. And I guess we'll do one more battle just for the sake of it since we're already here. But that's everything we need for guild contribution. But we'll do more later if we need it for all the rewards. If we have some slackers this week. But we'll do this battle since we're already here. But any other battles I'll do later in the week on the weekend if we need more points. Which hopefully we won't need, but if we do, they'll be good to go. Alright, let's go do PvP and everything else we gotta go do. Also, the poll is currently at this week. So I guess we will go and send all of the burning marks tonight. Which is going to be the first time I've ever opened this many in one go. But yeah, let's go open them. Let's go on a gigantic spending spree. It is time. Let's go to PvP. Let's go to... The minimum is technically 66 dooms. I know, we'll get them more in this weekend. I generally just wait until Saturday, Sunday to dump them all normally. Alright, let's go open these 10 at a time. So the main thing we're looking for is Immortal Tri-Goblin. The second highest priority is the Immortal Pharnax. We don't care too much about the other two. But yeah, we're just going to do it this week instead of next week. We'll still probably spend some next week. This won't be like a crazy, crazy amount. Let's see what we got. Nice, we got exactly what we wanted. That is like one of the worst case scenario, bronze icon. Alright, we got some Immortal and Pharnax. So far we haven't rolled bad yet other than the thing. Okay, we rolled bad there. Alright, nice. Another Immortal Tri-Goblin. That's the main thing we're looking for here. Nice, 64 in Pharnax. Huge, huge, huge. A little bit more for the Goblin. Can you stop giving us bronze icons? Why is that even in the drop table here? We got some more Tri-Goblin. One of the other ones we don't care as much about. Actually, we did really good. We didn't get any of the other guy. Ignoring the bronze icons, it's actually some pretty good rolls. As I got 0 of the one we don't care about that much. Very nice. Let's keep going. Please, stop giving me bronze icon. At least give me a gold one if we're going to do it. Okay, we finally got the other useless guy. More Goblin, good. That's the main thing we're looking for. Okay, gold icon, that's still bad, but worse, or better than a bronze icon. More of the dragon. More of the dragon, though low roll. Okay, nice. Max roll for the Goblin, main thing we're looking for. A low roll on the Goblin, not ideal, but better than getting the other guy. Nice, max roll, it's really going back and forth. Middle roll. Alright, we did pretty good on Goblin. 195 compared to 150 on the first roll. And we finally got some of him, which he's the one we want the least. And so far we're getting the least of him, so it's kind of working out. Though we did get 0 Immortal and Pharnax there, unfortunately. Alright, some more of the Goblin. Low roll, though. High roll on the Dragon. Middle roll on Dragon. Come on, and Pharnax and Troll. There we go, max roll and Troll. Or Goblin. Nice, double max roll in a row. Can we get the triple? Oh, well, we got 3 in a row, but we low rolled the third. Got some of these. Where's all the Immortal Pharnax? We were doing so good at first. There he is. Where's the rest of my Immortal Pharnax, though? We keep getting the Dragon more than any of them of the 3. At least we've gotten the least of the Immortal Terror, which we don't care about that much. But yeah, there we go. I guess we could open 2 more real quick. Why not? We got a max roll Goblin, and we got mid-roll Goblin. Very nice. Let's see what level that brings us to. There's still more that we can go and earn. That's not all that we get to do. But as far as what we can currently spend, that's everything. But, yeah, and the main reason we do that is so you could target them. Because everything else is just completely random from the other one. Whereas if we do it from the more expensive ones, we get the featured one for whatever the current season is, which is the main thing we want to get, the Goblin upgraded. So let's see how upgraded he is now. So if we go to Immortals, let's see what the other ones are. So our Dragon went from level 2 to level 6. I believe you get the pet at 7, so we're like 1 level away from getting that up. Oh no, we already got the pet, nice. So yeah, I think we have all the unique stuff from him. Or is it the weapon at 7? Yeah, it's the weapon at 7, I was thinking. The pet's at 6, the weapon's at 7. So that'll be everything completionist-wise done for him then. Immortal and Pharnax, how far did you go? Only a single level. But a bit more stats for him, if nothing else. But the main reason we did that... Also, let me go do the Terror real quick. He'll gain a level. Whatever he gets from here isn't too relevant, though I guess he gets his weapon. But there we go. But the main thing here is this one. Level 20 Trogoblin. Because he gets triple... it doesn't say it in game anywheres. But he gets 3 wishes whenever he gets fully maxed out. Of course, the default is 1. This is really good if using it with something that has staggered mana accumulation. One of the most noteworthy ones that you would likely use with him is a Goblin Rocket. Not Goblin Rocket. What's the other thing called? Boom Pile. Boom Pile has a very staggered mana accumulation where you can explode a huge amount and, you know, not pop all of them at once. So you could basically do a double explode where you go for a double star and then a single star and kind of divide them up a little bit. So you can get your initial burst of mana, but then reuse the other star again to basically recast your entire team 2 times over. It is absurdly strong. But you need the 3 stars to be able to do it fully properly. And yeah, we're trying to get them upgraded so that we can get there. Will we get them all the way upgraded by the end of the season? Probably not, but we should get pretty close. And that's our main goal that we're trying to aim for here. Is seen by the end of the season if we can get him to level 30. Every single one of these upgrades at this point is 100, so we need to get, what? 975 more then. That's a lot, but honestly, every single time we pull a ton of those, we're getting like, you know, almost like 200 something. Like 200-ish. So we might be able to make it, because there's still quite a few things we haven't claimed yet that we will be claiming over the next week or two. Of course, all of the ones that we get from here, like the 200 there. So how many are we getting soul-wise? Because I said we needed about, what, 1,000 more? 975? So we can kind of figure it out. Because let's just say it's 1,000. Let's say it's at exactly 975. Let's see how many we have here. 250. Not counting any of the chests that we'll be opening from the marks. But just counting these, we have 325. So not counting any of the marks. 325. Why is math not mathing? 400. 450. 525. 600. Yeah, we're nearly there already. 650. Plus whatever we get from here. You can basically say 700. What else do we still not have claimed from here that we're actually getting? Oh, Guardian Battles. I can do that right now. So yeah, I only need to get like 250 more. So we actually have to make sure we don't overspend them then at this point. I won't be able to get the other thing though. I don't think we're going that high. We'll get the burning marks, but I won't get the other 45. But yeah, at this point, I only need like 250 more. That means if we open another 10, we're basically already there unless we get really unlucky. And that way I could save the rest of them for next season, I guess. But yeah, that should be everything we need for maxed out Immortal Trogoblin. Wow, those 15 bucks actually goes a long way when you actually buy this pass. I only ever did it for Season 1, and we didn't have, like, the targeted burning chests at those time. But yeah, if you buy the pass, and you spend all the marks that you get on the troop for the given season, you will basically max out, guaranteed, the troop, unless you get absurdly unlucky. That's something I haven't realized, because the first time we ever bought it, we bought it during a time when those burning chests did not exist, the target one. But now that you have the target chests, because at the time it was only burning chests, the epic burning chest wasn't around yet. But now that you do, if you buy the $15 pass, it is enough to pretty much guarantee max out the immortal that you get for the season, assuming you do all the completion stuff, you know, given for the season. Like, you know, get your 180,000 points, you know, stuff like that. Complete out basically all the season goals, stuff like that. But if you do that, you're pretty much guaranteed to max out whatever the new immortal is. That is pretty pricey though, 15 bucks, but it's one of the few that was actually worth it. Oh, here's the redeem code from earlier, by the way. We got this kitty from, what was this? The 2022 International Cat Day. I'm pretty sure the code is dead by now. But if it's not... Oh, wait, no. This is the copy paste for the team. Oh, no. I don't have it anymore. Though I'm pretty sure it's already used up by now. But yeah, there's the old Cat Day pet. Though, of course, the pets are pretty easy to get with the new pet system now these days. Anyways, are we up to PvP now, or are we still doing other dailies? Let me go clear our other dailies real quick. Let me go take this out as well, just in case I need to for the patch. Just in case they check to see if this was completed, to see if they should give you the stars or not. Because we didn't get our 60 stars for today. Hopefully we get compensated for that. If you want to see the Astral Spire look when maxed, look on the forum for the title Magic's Library sharing is carrying title post. Oh, what? Does someone have like the full stat breakdown for full max? Because I can go look that up real quick. Did someone have it fully maxed during the beta? Because I should be able to find that pretty quickly. Community forum. There's a lot of data here. What am I looking for? There's a lot of data here. Let's see. There it is. Where's the total stat page? Where's the final total stat page? Oh, here's a nice little graphic for the other thing. Where's the total stat one I'm looking for here? Oh, did they not make a big total? They didn't make a big total, but we could add them all up. So 8, 8, 16, just to make sure I did the math right earlier. Because I said it was 28, I think. I think I said it was 28. Let's see if I was right. 16, 21, 23, 26. Oh, was that off some? 29, 32. I might have forgotten some buffs because this is 32 here. Because 8, 8, 16, 21, 24, 26. Oh, yeah, I'm counting hero. Wait. I was still off earlier. I think I forgot one off a yellow earlier. But yeah, I need to not count hero. Hero doesn't count. 16, 21, 24, 27, 29. So I was off by 1. I think I only counted 7 for yellow when it was actually 8. But yeah, there's 29 magic, not 28 magic. So I was off by 1 earlier, I think. Interesting. Also, some of them have a different amount of stone breakdown as well. I didn't even realize that. I thought all of them would be the exact same amount to max. But some of them are off by like 100 or 200. As far as the difference between them. And what is this? This is max for everything except the capstone, right? Or is this including capstone? Because I'm pretty sure this is ignoring capstone. Because there's no way that's counting capstone. I feel like they would get way more expensive than that if it was. Let's see. Starstone cost unlocked board without upgrades. Yeah. So it's counting not capstone. Is this initial number counting one capstone upgrade or not one capstone upgrade though? Starstones, dailies, blah 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 are unlocked by da da da. Once you unlock the capstone, requires a total of 4,802 to upgrade from level 2 to 50. Starstone costs to fully unlock a board without upgrades. Or the numbers there. So is that not counting the 400 or is that including the 400? Is what I'm not understanding there. I believe it is. But it's hard to tell. Because it's definitely not counting the 4,802 in these numbers, obviously. But I can't tell if it's counting the 400 for the one capstone upgrade. Because it seems like it is based on how this number is. So I assume the answer is yes. These numbers are counting the 400 from capstone, but not counting the level 2 to 550 capstone. Which almost doubles the cost. Back to one-shotting Explore 1. Or do you mean 12? Flower Dragon is boosted this week. Will it still work? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's true. It should work without the 20%. I did forget about that. We do have 20% Flower Dragon this week. I forgot to put that into account. I would need to see what his value is after this week. I completely forgot about that. Because this is a 20% Flower Dragon week. So the stats that it has right now is not its actual stats. I think it would, but you would need like almost every magic upgrade in the game. Because you're getting about 87, almost 90 damage. You're getting about 90 damage for Flower Dragon from upgrading every magic from Astral Spires. So that should get you there, I think. Because what's 20% less of this? That'd be 200. Which would then go to 200 with the magic from Astral Spires would go to like 290. Which means if 50 more damage would one-shot, it would. But yeah, I believe it does. We can go test it real quick. The easiest way to tell is if we go get rid of the 20%. So if we just assume Flower Dragon right now is doing 200 damage. And then add like 90 to it. I would also need to go set my thing. So let me go set that real quick. Let me go take this one battle. But let me go check that in the other battle real quick. I guess we can technically do it in this battle. Oh, no, we can't. It has to be on Explore 12. Okay, let me go double check it real quick. Because, yeah, I forgot to minus the 20% extra stats it has this week. But let me give it its 4 magic. And go back to an area that's easy to one-shot. And let me see how this goes. So what I gotta do right now is see if like 50-ish more damage one-shots everything. It pretty much would. It's a little bit sketchy on some, but it's hard to subtract the 20% from it because of all the other bonuses and everything. So it's hard to figure out exactly what the 20% is right now until next week. But yeah, it should just barely be able to one-shot without any other extra things on the team. Because you have to keep in mind, this thing won't have 10% normally. So really the highest we had to do was 54 or 55 damage. But yes, if you have literally every magic upgrade in the game, a 0% Flower Dragon would probably still be able to one-shot. As long as you have, like, literally every possible magic upgrade in the game. Like, we're talking all Astral Spires, all Magic Kingdoms, or pretty much all Magic Kingdoms, stuff like that. But yeah, it should. And it doesn't take that long to get either. Like, by about September of this year, we should have that. But yeah, we'll be able to figure that out a little bit easier next week because we'll be able to do the exact math on it. Because then we won't have the 20% bonus on Flower Dragon. But yeah, I forgot about that this week. Because obviously that's not a case every single week. Though there will be some weeks where it commonly has 10%, but it's very rare that it ever has 20% unless it's a Nexus event week that's also elemental. Which generally does happen whenever there is one, but, you know, it's only like twice a year. 2 weeks out of the year or something. Anyways, what we're doing... Oh yeah, I was finishing out the daily things real quick. Just to clear these out. And then clear every other daily we gotta go clear through real quick. And then probably just spam a bunch of PvP. As I do want to make top rank for PvP this week. Because I do want to get most of the rest of the PvP rating in. So I'm probably going to try for 3rd place for PvP this week. Because I feel like everyone's going to try pushing for it next week. So I want to try getting it done this week. We're not going to grind it too much today. But maybe sometime this weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, if I have some spare time, we'll go and power grind. I meant to do that during Vault weekend, but I didn't have enough time last weekend. So we'll just have to do it this Saturday or Sunday or something. Because I've still been trying to prepare a bunch of stuff for the 3-month trip that's coming up soon. And I almost have everything sorted. Almost there. I still can't believe it's only like 2 months away at this point. I was trying to get a lot of that stuff done now just so I don't have to do it like last minute. Alright, we're good to go there. We finished out Tower of Doom. Dungeon. Top 3, come on. Top 3, come on. Top 3, come on. Boo. No, not today. Oh yeah, I'm still have to keep buying Dragonite, by the way. Oh yeah, how close are we? Next stream, we could probably mess with the weapon. So, whenever we do that PvP stream, I could actually mess with the new weapon. I won't have the Evil Dragon for about another, like, almost a month. But, like 3 weeks or so. But as far as the Dragonite for the weapon, we'll have that by the next stream we do, most likely. So, we'll have that soon. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, we'll have that weapon technically in like 3 days, but we'll probably stream this Saturday or Sunday. And just go like mega into PvP. Do like half a day of like nothing but PvP. Because we gotta get 80,000 more PvP rating this week. Well, technically next week, this week and next week. So technically I gotta get like 70,000 this week. Though I guess it's not that much. Because we got all those medals that we got from the tokens we were just opening. So that saved us like another 10,000 that we need to do. So now I only really have to do like 60,000 this week or something. We should naturally hit 10,000 next week anyways, regardless how we do it. But yeah, regardless, we got to get that done this week just to make sure that next week we get it completely finished. And go get ourselves a maxed out Tra Goblin. Which I guess we're going to be using quite a bit in the future. It's a little bit on the pay to win side, but we had to go for it. It's so strong. As it's one of the few troops in the entire game that has ever been an immortal, where the way that you play it is quite a bit different when fully maxed. Like, even something like Immortal Ossifer, despite how strong it is, you're not playing it any differently for the most part when you max it. Yes, it gains 4 times Curse Stun, which is a lot more consistent, but the way you use him doesn't change. The way that you use, like, Immortal Fernax also doesn't change. Like, it's great if he had 15% Devour instead of 10, but the way you ultimately play him doesn't change. When it comes to the Trog Goblin, you actually change how you play based on how upgraded he is. As the way that you play him with 1 Wish Gem is completely different than how you play him with 3 Wish Gems. As it opens up opportunity to do a double sweep on the Wish Gems. Because if you only have 1, you can only take it once. But if you have 3, you can take 2 of them initially and then take 1 the second time. In order to get absurdly good value. You can basically have full mana twice across your entire team. Which is very, 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 very strong compared to doing it only once. Like literally giving your full team full mana twice. Is mega strong, especially with all the magic buffs and everything he has to auto extra turn cast. It is ridiculously strong. Not just for Goblin teams, but just in general. Because you could do that with anything in the game. We could do that with Flower Dragon. Though the extra turn rate on Flower Dragon's not that consistent. But you could do that with anything in the game. Your whole team would just need to be Trog Goblin plus Boom Pile. But your other 2 troops could be literally anything. Like Wand of Stars into Flower, or something good into Flower, or just 2 damage sources in general. Or even just a pure Goblin team. But it doesn't have to be Goblin team. But it does have to be Trog Goblin plus Goblin, not Goblin Rocket. Though you could use that if you had to. But Trog Goblin plus Boom Pile would be the required 2 troops. And then the rest of your team, the other 2 could be literally anything in the game. It doesn't have to be Goblins. But it's a really, 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 really absurdly strong team. And we'll finally be able to mess with it next week at some point. I'll even cover a video for it. Just because of how broken it is. Let's see. Yeah, maybe next week's Friday or just sometime next week I'll cover a video on them. But tomorrow we'll cover a video on the Astral Spire stuff, just a summary on it all. But anyways, what are we doing? Pet Rescue. Do I need this? No. Anything else we gotta go do? Dungeon, yes. Or Underspire, I mean. And then the only other thing we gotta mess with is... oh, you need to go cut paste the team. Where is it? And then the only other thing we need to mess with is a little bit of PvP. We're not gonna power grind it today, but we'll get some in. Oh yeah, maybe we should do the entirety of Underspire this week. I kind of have to. When are we ever going to have a freer team than this? This is insane. Our team is literally just the meta. It's just instead of double Takshaka, it's double Emberclaw. We have to go for full completion. Well, rip Gem Pile, but yeah, we have to. There is never going to be a freer week than 20% Flower Dragon with Wand of Stars. I don't think it's physically possible to get freer. I have to do full Underspire this week. Like, we have to. There's literally never going to be a freer team than this. I don't think there's conceivably possibly a freer week than Nexus. Assuming you own Flower Dragon. But it should be really quick. Like, everything's just going to get... Oh, no, no, I don't want that. No, 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 don't click on that. I almost just wasted 100 gems. I got so close to almost misclicking that. You opened Epic Burning Chest last week and picked up Immortal Maratus. Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if this week was the call or not, but we did do most of it this week. We'll still probably do some next week. It depends how much we do at the end and if we want to go for it or not. Because a lot of my burning marks I might just save for next season. Because based on the math we did earlier, we only have to scrap together like, what, 250 of them? So if we open up like another 10, we're pretty much going to get it unless we get bad RNG. Definitely like another 15 or 20. But yeah, this is definitely an Underspire week we got to go all the way. It's never going to get freer than this. There's like literally no excuse to not do Underspire this week if we have Flower Dragon. A lot of other times I just don't do it because it's like, the team's just going to be so slow and inconvenient. I'll take like a whole extra hour just because, you know, there's nothing good on a given week. Well, I have 25 Curse Runes, but this week is like, there's no excuse. Every battle will take like 3 seconds. Like the second the battle starts, it will end. Because I think Flower Dragon one-shots all the way to like floor 5 or something. Even then you just 2-shot. And mana accumulation's amazing. It's not as good as like Takshaka or Frero, but it's still pretty good. Double Ember Claw is not that bad. There's also an event keys this week if anyone still needs it. It's like the main reason you'd open event keys. We covered it in the video earlier today. But, yeah, it's basically just budget Takshaka. Takshaka's still better than it, but it is still pretty solid. And it's way more accessible than Takshaka. You can get it within about 200 event keys this week. About 100 or so will give you a Ember Claw, roughly. So it's way easier to scrap together 200 event keys this week, than especially after a Vault weekend, than it is to try to get like 8,000 diamonds for double Takshaka. So it's a lot more budget friendly than double Takshaka. You'd still eventually need double Takshaka, but you could go a while with just double Ember Claw if you had to in like early and mid game. And of course, you don't have to feed into Flower Dragon, though Flower Dragon is the strongest thing, especially this week where you have to use Flower Dragon for Underspire. But you know, on a general team, you don't have to be using it with Flower. You could be using Wand of Stars, feeding into that, and to just do it into any damage source in the game. And have Wand of Stars in first slot, put your damage in second, and then just have the 2 bears behind it. It doesn't have to be Flower Dragon. For this game mode, it does. But for a general team, it doesn't have to be. Oh, nice. We already found the Cursed Mine Room. Oh, we already got so many Curse Runes already. We're already at like 41 Curse Runes, and we're still on floor 1. We got 25 from the Trap and 16 from the Cursed Mine. Well, Flower Dragon is one-shotting in Underspire. Shouldn't Essentia and Ember Claw be better? We can't put Essentia on the team. But yes, it would be better. But this is Nexus restriction, so we have to run Double Bearer. I'm also running Mech in case they get submerged, just in case. So we have Dispel per extra turn. Some of the new Astral Spire stuff does have Dispel on it, but it's not 100% consistent. I believe the highest it gets is like 70% per turn or something. Or 80% per turn. Which is still not 100%, so you still kind of need to have stuff like this, even once you have that Astral Spire. There's a good chance I'm even just going to ignore that one capstone. Because as good as something like 80% Dispel is, it's not 100% consistent like just getting an extra turn is. The main thing it allows you to do is it opens up your hero class to not need to run Dispel. So if you want to run like Elementalist, but you still need Dispel, you can. Whereas right now you kind of have to go like Mech or some similar thing that has Dispel if you need it. But even once you have it, it's still 100% consistent to do it the way you always have, like with Mech class or something similar. Because you can't depend on 80% Dispel to always work. Like, it'll normally work, but, you know, the time you need it most, it'll probably not work. Is this honestly probably going to be one that Astral Spires I'll go for last. I don't really feel like we need Dispel. Generally, if you really need Dispel for a team, you're going to put Dispel on the team. And the main case you need that for is anything that hits all enemies simultaneously. Because normally you need it to get rid of Submerge. There are some other byproducts of having it on a general team, though. Like getting rid of Barrier and stuff, and Enchant and other annoying things. It's also really good against Trick and Treat that gets like every positive stats effect at once. You just dispel it all instantly. More than half the time just from your turn going by. Because the only problem with Mech and other stuff like that is you can get stunned. Like if we get stunned, we lose our Dispel. Whereas we haven't tested yet, we'll be testing that with the Cleanse. I am not sure if they can be stunned off or not. I'm not 100% certain if you can stun off the the Cleanse or any of the other Astral Spires. Have any of the beta people actually mentioned that yet? Because they're the only ones who would know. Even if you max bought the stars today, you would not be able to know unless you're a beta tester. But did any beta tester actually mention it in any of the spoiler threads? How the buffs work? Because the main thing I want to know is if they bypass stun or not. Because we won't know naturally in the game until about 9 days from now. Or if you're max buying, maybe in like 3 days from now. Or we're not going to be max buying though. So literally only the beta people know. How am I 5 short? I still haven't gotten all the buffs yet. Oh, nice, it's magic as well. Speaking of magic bonuses, alright, what do I need here? I'm looking for, let's just clear out bare minimum dailies. Oh yeah, we'll get a bunch of copies of him as well. Because I think I only had to do one more today, and we're good to go. So let me grab our magic, let me go get our spell reduction, and then we'll go ahead and clear out all the PvP dailies. And then maybe go grind PvP just a little bit, since we do want to go and try to get it done this week. I want to be within 10,000 striking distance this week. Or maybe 20,000, since we will get some of the little tokens next week. Actually, that's something else. Doesn't the paid pass give you some? I didn't put that into consideration. I think the paid pass saves us some time. It's only like an hour or two, but I believe you get, it's not something I normally pay that much attention to. But I believe you get like those little totems here, don't you? Or do you not? Never mind. Okay, you don't. I always thought you got some of the totems from these. Apparently not. You just get a bunch of other junk you never need. Really? No totems to speed things up? I never realized that. I always thought you got a few here. I guess it's just from the PvP thing from when you do it for Guild War. But you don't actually get any from the pass. Free side or paid side. Like those ones that speed you up so you don't have to do as many battles. Those little talisman thingies. Whatever these things are. The purchase shop. These little thingies. But they don't give you any of the icons. How many do we have right now? We have like 10,000 roughly. We have about 10,000. So it saves us like an hour roughly. Oh yeah, you know what else we could do while we still can? Oh, I'm a little bit short though. But deep books. Nice, red's the one we need. Red is the new purple, and we just got 2 in a row. Huge. Too bad we can't do 3 in a row. I don't think there's anything I could do for gold marks right now today. Tomorrow we'll be able to get it, but today, not so much. Anyways, let's go get the rest of these buffs. Clear out all the dailies for PvP, and then probably just grind it just a little bit. Just to mess around. As we do need to get about 60, 70,000 PvP points this week, which hopefully is enough to make top 3. I highly doubt it, since we are in diamond rank right now, but you never know. Might have a really easy diamond rank this week. And whatever points we have left, we can easily just do with dailies, or, you know, the bare minimum next week. Oh yeah, that's something. I actually forget how that works. What happens when you have an immortal maxed and you get souls for it? Does anyone know? Or does it just stop rolling for that immortal? Because I just now realized, I've never actually had that happen yet, because I've never actually maxed out an immortal until this season. This will be our first level 30 immortal. Because I'm not sure what happens if you get souls for it again. Or if it just stops rolling for it, or what happens. Knowing them, though, you probably get, like, some kind of extra currency that does nothing. If it works anything like the shiny system. I actually completely forget, because I've never needed to know up to this point. Let me see. Let me go for the magic buff. Okay, the team from last week got saved. Don't even need to change it out. I mean, we had green last week as well for this exact location. But yeah, the only big downside of Astral Spires, which is a big downside of a lot of big patches lately for Gems of War over the last several years, is it's all time-gated stuff. Nothing we can infinitely grind immediately. Honestly, the last patch I feel like that gave any amount of power that you could infinitely grind was in 2019 when they added medals to the game. Every other big patch that did something somewhat similar since then has never been infinitely grindable. Closest is maybe Underspire, but even that's limited. But I hope they'll do a feature like that at some point, especially now with all the Astral Spire buffs, where they could really start scaling content upwards and make it more difficult. And make the difficulty the time-gated portion rather than, you know, the actual time. Because I'm curious to see what a new game mode would be like now, balanced to the buffs that Astral Spires have. Because every new content has to put into consideration now just how much sheer power you're going to have from Astral Spires. It's a lot of extra power. Because no game mode is currently balanced to it. But most, if not all, future ones will be, of course. Are we going all the way in Underspire? Oh yeah, we're going all the way in Underspire this week. It is way too free not to. It's basically just a normal quick kill team. Like, we were literally never going to get a team quicker than that on any other week. It's as quick as it could possibly go, so we kind of have to do it this week. Alright, we got Faye. This is probably Miss Mother. Miss Mother is Faye, right? Yeah. So we do Faye into Immortal Glacia. Also, Immortal Glacia is getting really close to max. I believe it creates 3 freeze gems per turn. It's not like insane, but it is pretty good. Unfortunately, we still need like 360 more for it at some point. But whenever I do eventually get that, maybe she's ever a targetable Immortal. Who knows, maybe she will be next week. Because getting our max for those 3 to be able to use her every Monday would be kind of nice. Because 1 freeze gem isn't really going to do much, but 3 could actually be an okay amount of mana accumulation. Because we're going to go by normally at least 2 turns, so it's like 6 blue she gets to create. Instead of just 2. So the extra turn and mana accumulation potential is actually pretty high. Alright, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, I guess, this wand into Empower. Oh yeah, it's Faye. I have Leprechaun. We just literally run Leprechaun. There we go. And in Banner, I guess this double blue. It'd also benefit double blue Banner a lot more if we had 3 gems spawn for her instead of 1. Because with 1, it's not really that guaranteed that we'll get it. But with 3, we should pretty much get blue like every turn. For a bunch of free mana for her. Yeah, she's pretty close, but we'd have to target her directly to get her up in any amount of time. Just because there's so many things in the general drop table for not doing it that way. But maybe one of the other times, if there's another one that we do buy out at some point, maybe we'll go for that. Because now that we've kind of seen that the PvP pass thing's actually not that bad, maybe we'll actually buy it occasionally a little bit more if the Mythics, like, or Immortal is actually, like, you know, somewhat usable. We'll see going forward. It has to be something similarly as useful as the Goblin, though. Like, if we're just gonna get a troop that just, like, hits 3 enemies somewhat hard, then, you know, we're just, like, full skipping it. It has to be something that has, like, a really unique mechanic if we're gonna do it again. Good night, Mulu! Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. But yeah, tomorrow's game plan is sometime around noonish, I guess. I'll probably cover a video on the overview for Astral Spires then. Originally, it was going to be on Wednesday, but since they did the update tonight, you know, we'll just cover it tomorrow then. That doesn't mean there's no stream tomorrow night. However, probably on Sunday or Saturday, whatever day I have more time. Hopefully I have time this week, and I should. We'll go do, We'll go do a stream, and we'll just mess with PvP. We might even mess with maxed out Goblin by then, because I might have that by then. Stuff like that. There's a little bit of grind we need to go do. And by then, we'll have some Astral Spire upgrades as well. We'll have our first capstone and everything. Maybe we'll even save the capstone upgrade for the stream as well. Because around that time is when we'd have the capstone for blue, which allows us to start mitigating extra turn from the enemy team. Which is pretty much the only feature we knew about before the updates even came out, like years ago. When they conceived of the concept of Astral Spires, which were called something else initially. But the only thing we knew about it back then is there'd be an anti-extra turn mechanic, which is what the Blue Spire is. Though little do we know that it would be the strongest one out of any of them. Like, we knew it would be strong, we just didn't know it would be the strongest buff at the time. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Because I wish they would have done some other crazy things similar to that. It's a little bit unfortunate that is the craziest one they end up going for. Like, a lot of the other buffs are decent, but they're nowhere near as strong as extra turn mitigation. Alright, that's everything for that. And then the only other daily we didn't clear through is the 3 Valhawks. Also, this entire week, I'm going to be using the buff, so let me go set that right now. I'm going to take the higher battle, why not? Wait, what screen do you do the thing on, this one? So this entire week, and probably all next week too, potentially, but definitely this week. I got to use the double VP thingy, so we can get all of our points that we need in quicker. Using them this week should save us about an hour or 2 of PvP grind, so might as well use them. Otherwise, we're just sitting there doing nothing, the 3,000 something stack we have. Oops, I was frozen on red. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. There we go. And of course, here is a location where Astral Spires do work. Guild Wars doesn't, but normal PvP does. So we're gaining our extra magic and everything for it, as well as any other buffs we'd have. Obviously, we have like almost none right now. But we can see right there, Astral Spires. 3 armor and 1 magic. It's not a lot, but it's doing something. Oh, I guess we could end this poll as well. We already spent all the points. Yeah, we're spending most of them this week, and maybe I'll spend a small amount of them next week. It really comes down to, do we upgrade the Goblin or not this week? And that really comes down to, am I getting 180,000 this week or finishing it next week? Because the only way I could do that is if I finish it this week. But that means we'd have to do an extra hour of PvP, but that's fine. Yeah, probably this Sunday we'll end up doing that grind. Saturday or Sunday, whatever day we have more time this weekend. And I'll save the Astral Spire upgrade for then as well. At least the capstone. But if anyone still has any other questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. Because at this point, all dailies have been completed. The only weekly that's going to take us a while that we still haven't done is... oh yeah, we got Bounty Hunter this weekend too. I'll probably just do the free battles for it though. But the main weekly we still got to finish this week then is get like 60, 70,000 PvP rating. So I'll be poking at that throughout the week, and then whatever we don't do, I'll probably just try to do on like Saturday or Sunday. And we'll stream most of it. And I'll save the big Astral Spire upgrade for then as well. So we can get it on stream to go test it out. I don't think we'll have the cleanse by then though, but we will have the extra turn mitigation from the blue capstone. I don't think I'll have enough to get to this the cleanse until next week though. Alright, we were just talking about Trog Goblin earlier. Let's go and kill him out here. Oh, it's showing that ours is upgraded too because it's just doing it based on the icon. That's funny. Oh, maybe I should go upgrade him then. Apparently we have another one waiting. Oh yeah, we can use his Wish Gem. Well, we could if I could hit it. Luckily he gave everything full mana, so as long as we get a turn here, we should be fine. Alright, we did. It's over. Alright, there we go. Yeah, apparently he has an upgrade I didn't do earlier. Where is it? Not there. Oh yeah, PvP season. We also got this upgrade too. And I believe that's the last tokens I get from here. The only other thing I haven't done is get this rank. We'll be able to get this 20, I believe, but I won't be able to get the final one because it requires getting way too many points. But I do believe I get this 20 burning marks. But I won't be able to get the 45 copies of the troop because it requires doing like 400,000 or something, which we're definitely not doing. But by 180,000, I do believe we'll unlock that one. But there's no way I'm doing like the 400,000 or whatever it is. We did that. We did that. PvP season. We'll be doing you soon. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I was upgrading the immortal. Oh, yeah. We can do one more pull as well. Might as well since we did so many today. Alright, so we'll get him 2 more upgrades right here. Might have a 3rd coming in too as well. Oh, nice. We just got the lower mana cost on him. And he gets another lower mana, I believe, all the way at the end. Yeah. Which I haven't actually unlocked on any of them. Yeah, I kind of forgot you even get that. You can go as low as 26 mana cost, which is great for him because he auto extra turns. Though I guess he's wish gemming, so that doesn't really matter too much on him. Oh, never mind. I don't have enough. I thought we had more. Never mind. It's just showing it for the 10 we have. Yeah, we'll use that later. I want to wait till we can actually target it, of course. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for now. Tomorrow we'll cover a video going over the overview of Astral Spires and everything. But the very short summary is prioritize blue and prioritize magic are like the 2 biggest things. Prioritize the blue allies one, the Chalice. Prioritize all magic buffs across all of them, particularly the ones that have a lot of magic. I believe yellow and purple have like 8 magic on them. And ignore hero tree completely and don't touch a single one of these ever. Unless you've literally upgraded literally every other Astral Spire in the game. But full ignore hero, prioritize blue, and prioritize magic are like the biggest things. Those are like the 3 things. But we'll cover a video for it just going over it in its entirety. We'll probably show that one graphic that was on the forum too because it's a pretty nice little graphic. And yeah, we'll go from there. The only thing I'm not 100% certain on is how the effects work. I'm not sure how these effects work. I'm not sure if they work through stun. And I'm not sure how they work if you have multiple on a team. Like, do you just need 1 blue on the team and it applies to everything on your team? Does it only apply to the blues on your team? Or does it stack if you have multiple? Like, do you have 3 blues? Do you get 60% cleanse or something? But I'm not sure how this works exactly. But even if it only works once and can still be stunned off, they're still pretty good. But best case scenario would be they can't be stunned off and they work across your entire team just for having one. And do they somehow stack for having multiple to color? That'd be insane. Because that means if you had 4 blue, that's 80% cleanse. Which I highly doubt that's how it works, but if it is, that is absurdly broken. Almost even more so than this. Though this is really good too for the extra turn mitigation. This is like the whole reason I want Astral Spire is like this right here. And we're actually going to have it by like next week. Like assuming I could just beeline straight there, which we should be able to, I'm pretty sure. Let's go boom, 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 boom. Assuming we can do that. We're going to have this by like Tuesday of next week or something. Maybe even earlier. Because we're getting 60 per day. If I get the rest from the other thing, yeah, we'd easily have it by Monday then. If we get refunded the rest of the library stuff we didn't get and whatever other compensation they do, by the time all that compensation stuff comes in, we'd have this by whenever that comes in, by like Monday or so. And we can have our extra turn mitigation. So hopefully by Sunday I can actually go show this on the stream then. And then we start working to the cleanse by going boom, boom, boom. And then we get our cleanse off of that, and then could test that by like Friday of next week or something. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend, wonderful, I think, St. Patrick's Day sometime this week. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.